Hey guys, welcome back to Terror of God, a New World. In today's video, we are talking KISEIA. Now, I have put my investment into her. Obviously, my summon session went pretty poorly. I only pulled 3 copies of her in 210 summons, so she's only at 3 blue. Take that into consideration when we look at this testing that I'm about to do, because she is only 3 blue. If I chucked a 3 blue hat and tried to carry a 4-ish, even a 3x deficit, he would get clapped as well. So I wanted to talk about it. Now, the first thing I want to start with is, should you pull for her? If you like her playstyle, like her, but you're worried that she's not going to be meta enough, I would still recommend only pulling 1 copy and then saving your summons. The reason I would recommend that is I'm still trying to see more people in the community testing her as well. I've done some simulation testing, but I never rely on simulation testing because it always feels bugged. So I'm testing her from my experience here. I've got her to 35 exclusive equipment and maxed out her rapport, except for the frame, obviously, because that doesn't matter. And she's got 2 level 5 on color pieces of gear. Now, I think she's one of those ones that's really going to need every bit of investment to be able to work, as she doesn't have any self shields, she doesn't have any self heals. All she has is her invisibility that she can proc. So she wants to max out the damage and max out her survivability to be able to work, because she basically, any damage she takes is permanent unless you have a healer on the team, and the way she works is often the rest of the team is going to be dead before she can carry. So she's an interesting one. My recommendation, once again, at this stage, just because of my knowledge that I have, because people have been asking me a lot, I'd rather come back with a fully researched answer that I can be 100% confident in. So at this stage, I would say you've got a lot of time for the banner still. Pull 1 copy, because that will allow you to finish her progression thingy, her missions, which will get you to 3 green from that, plus the copy you get from the event, plus the copy you get for 3,000 gems from the thing. So I think pulling 1 copy so that you can get her to 3 green at base is a pretty good investment. Now, if you're using her at 1 copy as a tech support, I think picking up the 10 exclusive equipment isn't bad, because 10 exclusive equipment doubles her stun on this ability from 2 seconds to 4 seconds. So she stuns an enemy at the start of battle, and she will keep using this ability as well, but she will stun them for 4 seconds instead of 2, and all it requires you is to get to level 10. So I think even at like 1 copy, or if you get a couple extra, that 1 extra and you get her to 3 green, I think having her at 10 is going to be really fantastic for her supportive ability. I did a whole video talking about her at a single copy. But I wanted to jump in, show you guys some testing, and give you my thoughts on her so far. Once again, this is not like fully evaluation, because I don't have her beefed up yet, but I wanted to show you what I'm getting out of her. Now, at this stage, I did use her as a sub-unit, being that she is lower level than my Huarian. The Huarian is the carry, and we don't have a bunch of purple units in this team to take advantage of this either. But what I want to do is, we'll look at this replay, look at how she works here. She just basically, with the investment, she does what she did before as a single copy unit, but she just does it better and offers a little bit more damage. So let's look at this replay, and then I'll show you my testing with her as a carry in these other in-between stages, which she's probably not going to work too well as, but I just wanted to give you guys a look at my process for testing things. Once again, she is only 3 blue, so I really want to test her at least 3 purple, ideally 4 orange, and then obviously the big juice comes later on. However, I did test her in arena, and she pretty much one-shot. If you have her in the hyper leveled slot, even mine basically one-shots the lowest health enemy at the start of battle every time. If it's an Evan, she'll one-shot an Evan, which can be really nice as well. But yeah, she does do really hard one-shots in PvP. She isn't a full purple team for me there, because it's like my 3rd team, but that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at this one. As you can see, she's still alive, but what I want to show you is she will use her teleport as well and go back to the guy, the shooter at the back. Let's just slow it down. You'll see him at the back shooting. She will use her teleport ability, so it's not like a one use ability. So here she is here. She's standing right here, waiting for her to move. I'm just slowing it down a sec, and there she goes. So she uses that teleport, gets the stun on again, and then she goes ahead and she starts slapping into him. So that is something handy that she does do. She will continuously use that ability. It's not like some characters that say at the start of battle they use this effect. She will continuously use it, and she's really nice at bursting those shields with the ult as well. But as you can see, she's proccing those invisibilities and stuff like that. But in general, this is obviously her as a supportive type character. So let's jump into the next stage and let's see if we can demonstrate the idea of using her as a carry. Now, let's take a look. So we're going to take you out. So we'd want to put her into this slot. Now, once again, she's not going to do it too well because she is only at that 3 blue, but I want to show you the ideas that we have. So if I was doing this, she wouldn't really be being used with an Evan and a bomb. She would if she was a sub DPS, basically just there as a supportive unit. But when we get into three team fights, which is where I'm ideally going to use her, we'd be using her in probably a purple core. Now we do have 2 amazing purple supports in these 2 units, which are super handy. Now the thing is, I got to wait and see which way this guy grapples, because she should avoid his grapple and she can just bait that grapple, which is super handy in itself as well. So the final unit we can put in, I think Data Mashni is the best tank to put with her because she has the longest innate survivability. And you really want that because she goes invisible. She doesn't protect the team. She's not like a Hats who tanks for your team. You kind of want that that tank. But then obviously we would love another purple unit so that she can make the most out of her passive buff, which is going to at this stage give her 18% attack for each purple ally besides herself. So we're effectively getting, 54% if we put one more in the team. Then we do have Kuhn here as well, who is giving her an extra attack buff of the 28% because she's a purple unit. So we do get some nice snowball here. But what I want to try is, because this is something I haven't actually tried, is putting Bomb in the team to give her that extra defense as well. Because this guy's obviously great support. Normally we are going to use him with Equa, but it's just something I thought of then. So I want to see how this sort of goes. So we're at a 3.5x deficit. Dude, I can't do maths. 3.5 to 4x, I think. So let's just see how this goes. Now, I am not expecting this to do well at all, but I just want to show you guys the process that I go through with testing. Maybe you guys can have a look at her, see something that I'm not picking up on, and see how she goes. So we're looking at the start. She's going to hopefully, I might have to swap positioning. I just got to see if Grapple Man goes for her or Bomb. He goes for her, which is perfect. So there she goes. She goes to the guy at the back. As you can see, accuracy is a massive issue for her because she used that first attack and she just instant missed it, which really sucks. She does that. She got the kill, which means she gets the invisibility. You can see everyone else is already dead. Did she get the attack and defense buff? Yes, she did. She got the attack and defense buff from Bomb. And basically, if she wants to do anything here, she would have to be getting kills and snowballing those kills. And as you can see, she just doesn't really have the capacity to do that at this stage. I'll do a couple more run-throughs of this, see if we can get a little bit better RNG, something else to happen. But once again, we are only at blue. But accuracy, honestly, is the biggest thing that I've been noticing. And I really only pay attention to it on her first strike when she attacks the enemy at the back row. So watch this. Let's see if she hits him. Okay, that time she hit him. The previous time she didn't. So because it seems like she does miss that attack a lot at the moment, I'm curious to see if that means she's missing a lot of attacks, and I've got to somehow try and get extra accuracy into her because I do have the accuracy weapon maxed for her, and that's pretty much where we're at. So I'm going to bounce out. I'm going to retry a couple times, and I'll see if I can find a better replay of her trying to carry. Once again, she is at blue, so give her a break. Okay, so here's a replay that shows pretty decently what I want to show you guys. Obviously, we're not going to win with her at 3 blue at like a 3.5 to 4x deficit, but I want to show you this one. Also, if you hear noise in the background, kids going crazy and stuff, so it is what it is. I got to finish this video and get out, but let's take a look at what she does in this one, because I want to show you her damage dealing capabilities, keeping in mind that she is missing the main damage weapon, and we're not even at an A+ piece, we're at an A piece. So she is losing a lot of damage by not having this weapon, and obviously she is only at 3-star blue. So I want to show you, and then I want to talk about the issues with her as a carry and the issues I see arising. I think she's going to be fine at like a 3x deficit once you get her duped up, but I'm not sure going further. Like I said, if you want to pull for her, I recommend waiting. But okay, so there we go. There's the first hit. Does about 60% of the enemy's health, which isn't too bad for just an initial burst strike. Then she gets the kill. Now she's using her ultimate. She has lost a lot of health, and this is her big issue, which we'll talk about more in a sec. But I just want to show you this ult and see the damage it does to Sleepy. So if you look at Sleepy, he teleports while he does it, but that did about 90% of his health as damage. Now, if it did 100% and she killed him, obviously she would get her invisibility again. She would prolong the period of her thingamabob where she gets her buff. So she can snowball. The problem I see happening, and then she just dies here, unfortunately, just before Kun gets his stun off, which would have really helped and we could have done something. But that, I just wanted to show you that damage capabilities, keeping in mind we are missing the biggest damaging increase piece of gear, and we are missing a bunch of dupes for her. So the big issue that I see arising with her as a carry, now, like I said, I feel like 3x deficit, she'll be pretty fine. But if you're moving into that 4 to 5x, I don't really see anyone being very viable in that range, except for Ihua and Hwarian at the moment. Possibly Hats, but he has his own issues as well. But with her, I think her problem is that any damage she sustains is permanent. And that is the issue that she has. We'll just spam through a couple replays here, tries here while we talk about it. But it's the fact that she doesn't have heals. At the moment, there's no... we got 2 really good purple supports in both Kun and Nurey. However, neither of them have that sustaining capabilities. Obviously, we have a shield with Kun. We have an ult from Nurey, which does provide some defensive type play. But the big thing that we need is we need her to have some sort of sustain. We got Hwarian, who has, she has her shields, which are absolutely insane because shields are just crazy in this game. And then we have, unfortunately, she only got half health on that one. But then we've got Hats, who has his spinning swords, which are, damage avoidance. And then he also has his heal as well to keep him going. I find shielding to be the best in this game at the moment. But, it's something to keep him alive. Ihua, we don't really need, she has got shields, which are handy, but Ihua's different because normally you're using her with Bomb and Evan, and those two make up the core. So the thing that she is lacking is the team core that's really supports her play. Now, if you had like a maxed out Karaka, then she's got the team core to support her in the tanking side because Karaka can tank and taunt and keep her alive, but we are still lacking that really good sustain type unit to really help her benefit from that, and that is going to be my concern. Like I said, this is just early days. This is my testing at 3 blue. We're not max geared. We do have max rapport. I do think she has accuracy issues as well. So for me, from my orb thingy, the crystal thing that you do to get the extra stats, I am going to be rerolling that for as much evasion and accuracy as I can, because I think those are the 2 main stats that she does really need. As you can see, once again, doing about 90% of health of that sleepy dude. Not quite enough, but it is still decent damage. So I think her damage output is going to be really good, and I think where she's really going to start to shine the brightest is going to be at endgame, where all your characters are even leveled, and then she can bring that utility, that control, plus have the team be able to live longer to help sustain her. And that would be a stage when we're using proper tanks who could actually tank, and we're not relying on limited time investment of invincibility from cheesing stages. And I think that's where she's really going to find her best place. Along with bossing, I'm going to test her more in bossing as well and see how she goes there, because I think she does have potential. But once again, mine lacking that gear and lacking the dupes is going to be the big issue. So just to reiterate, I think she's great. I think she's going to be a perfectly fine carry at around 3x deficit once you get her to that sort of 3 purple to 4 orange range. And obviously once we get her to max rainbow, it's going to be even different, because she's going to proc that invincibility quicker at the start of battle as well and help her nuke enemies. And that's where I think she's going to be fine like that. As for pushing that 4-5x deficit, which we know Hwarian and Ihua can do quite well, and Hats can touch into as well, I'm going to have to wait and see, do some more research, find people in the community, see if I can find some people with replays and testing and stuff like that. It is still early days, being like the first 24 hours since she came out, so at the time of recording this. So I will keep you guys updated. But as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.